Tenemos la bendición de presentar una de estas inspiradoras conferencias tituladas La encarnación anterior del Buda como un rey llamado Gran Luz Clara, parte 5 de 6 en Entre Maestra y Discípulos, dado en inglés el 12 de septiembre de 2015 en Francia.
He summoned the caretaker of the elephant and asked him, "Caretaker, you have such a talent, ability to control the elephant thus. Why was that when we were in the forest you couldn't control him? You could not stop him from running." So at that time, the god of the peace reside in heaven knew that the king, great light, has already aspired to attain the ultimate spiritual height, like already aspired to want to become Buddha. So he used his godly power he make the caretaker of the elephant kneel down in front of the king and speak thus: "Your Majesty, I can only control his body. I cannot control his mind." Yes, that was spoken from the God. God from the peace reside in heaven. That's the name of the heaven. But spoken through the mouth of the caretaker. Otherwise, the caretaker probably could not have spoken at that time. Number one, he was too emotionally hurt, shocked, pain, yeah? Number two, maybe he has not enough wisdom to say such thing, yeah? So the God in heaven had to use his mouth to speak like this directly in front to the king, so that the king can ask another question, accordingly. So the king asked him, "Then who can be the one who could control his body as well as his mind?" So the heavenly God also spoke again through the mouth of the caretaker of the elephant: "Your Majesty, only the Buddha can control his mind as well as his body." Yeah. And the king continued to ask, "You say Buddha. What kind of quality, what kind of seed, original quality or seed that makes up a Buddha?" I'm just translating, more or less, okay? What kind of seed, original seed that make up a Buddha? So the caretaker spoke again. With the inspiration from the... It's okay. I'm not doing anything wrong. I just try to dry my tears. Am I allowed to do that? Huh? It's not the first time I cry, or did you see me all the first time I cry? I cry all the time. This world is nothing. Just this world has brought me nothing but tears. If you avoid me today, tomorrow you get me again. Many times when they see me crying, because of animals or something like that, they always turn the camera away. I don't know why. Many times like that before. So sometimes you suddenly see the blank screen in front of you, when we're doing live or something like that, or even later, because I try to avoid my emotion. There is something bad. Yeah, I have not become wood or stone, I told you already. Yeah? If I became emotionless, then I cannot understand your emotion. If I became like painless, if I can avoid pain, then I cannot understand your pain. If I can avoid sorrow, or control sorrow, or ignore sorrow, or nullify sorrow, then I cannot understand your sorrow. Thus, I cannot help you in time of your pain, in time of your sadness, or in time of your trouble of any kind. Understand? I retain all that, all the emotion of humans, so that I can help you. Okay? Crying is nothing to be ashamed of. People cry when they're in sorrow or in happiness. It's just emotion. And then the caretaker of the, excuse me, it's okay. Thank you anyway for your politeness. I have nothing to hide, okay? I'm just like you. I'm just have something else. I just have something else more than just the eye, the physical eye, yeah? And that something else I also share with you. And I also reawaken that something else in you, understand? But you have not become inhumane or less human or dishuman because of that something else. It's just extra. It's just something we always have. Always had, but did not know had. And then so I help you to remember that, to awaken it, okay? Through initiation. All right. Now, so the caretaker answered the king thus, Your Majesty. But the caretaker could not know this. You see, this is a talk of wisdom. So the God of the heaven of peaceful dwelling had to inspire him from inside. At that time, the God can do that. Normally, the God does not interfere. Okay? Also, he cannot control the human's free will or mind. But this time, how can he do that? Anybody can answer? It's going to... okay, I read to you first, okay? And you think about it. Your Majesty, there were two primordial seeds, primordial qualities, seeds or qualities that gave birth to Buddhahood. Yeah. One is wisdom. Two is compassion. Yeah. Diligently doing charitable work, keep the precept purely, being very patient, very diligent in practice, meditation. These are two seeds. And then from that give birth to six paramita, in six great way, yeah? The first is charity. The second is keep the precepts. Keep, moral conduct, yeah? And the third is being patient, tolerant. The fourth is diligent, means always vigilant in a spiritual way, yeah. The fifth is meditation, contemplation, same, yeah. The sixth is wisdom. Okay, so we call them six paramita. If a person, a being, exercise all these six perfection, they call it six perfection, great way, six great perfection. If a being exercise all these six perfection in full, completely, and purely, then that being is the Buddha. Understand now? Yeah. So this person, this being can control himself, him or herself, as well as other beings. Now you tell me, can elephant caretaker has such a wisdom to preach to the king in this way or not? Yes or no?
No.
No. Okay, then. So now, because the God of heaven, I told you before, the God of the peaceful dwelling in heaven inspired him from inside to talk to the king like that. Tell me how the God can do that, despite human free will. Because if the God can always control the mind of human inside, then our world would have been peace and love and paradise long ago. Okay? So you tell me why this God only inspired this person at that time. Why? How can he do that? Anybody can tell me? One candy, right? Yes, tell me.
Because the sacrifice of that elephant.
Because the sacrifice of that elephant? Somebody else?
Maybe in that desperate situation, the guy prayed to God.
The guy prayed to God?
Yeah,
But the elephant already died.
because he afraid of being killed by the.
Oh, he's afraid of being killed? Okay. Didn't say here. Yes, but maybe. Okay. Anybody else?
He's compassionate at that moment.
Who has compassion at that
The
moment?
caretaker.
The caretaker? Anyone else?
Maybe the God see the king will become Buddha, but he maybe make a really bad karma this time. Maybe interfere the path to God, to become Buddha. Maybe will hinder his way to Buddhahood.
Anybody else?
Maybe candidate, he's the Guanyin method.
Maybe what
Practice.
funny method?
Yeah, practice Guanyin method.
Who? The caretaker?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Didn't say so. Oh, okay. No. Yeah. Possible, but they did not say so. Because he did not say that he practiced anything. Yeah. Even if he practiced Kuan method, if he does, then he did not need the heaven to tell him. But the heaven God had inspired him inside, made him say such and such thing. Because at that time, why he could inspire this guy, why he could interfere with the free will of a human being, because at that time, I pretend that I know. Yeah, I pretend that I know. I guess that at that time the caretaker was so shocked, so deep in sorrow, so profound in unimaginable sadness and pain, in such situation, because he was crying and he loved the elephant, the innocent elephant. So I guess at that time his mind is free of all kind of struggle and free will and ego and thinking and whatever. He was so deep in sorrow that heaven can inspire him, can interfere with this human affair. Understand? Yes. Otherwise, even if a Kuan Yin practitioner is inspired to tell such thing, not every king will change their mind. But also because at that time the king already feeling somehow remorse. Yeah. I guess anyone would feel terrible like that the elephant would be so obedient that to willingly die in such a terrifying, gruesome way of death. To know that he might do that and to see that he does it is a different thing. Understand me? The thing is to know that you might suffer in the war. You run away from war, like from war-torn country during the war. The terrifying feeling and all that, you might know about it. But not until you became one refugees and running yourself. You heard about it. You saw it on TV. You think you understand what it's like to be running as a refugee during the war, running for your life, running with the terrifying feeling knowing that you could die or wounded any moment or captured. But you don't really know it until you are truly one of the refugees. Do you understand now? Therefore the king, with all his wisdom, intelligence, and benevolence, despite his gentle heart, could not imagine that the elephant would willingly die like that. Understand? I mean, against his will, just to do it. Because he has to obey, because he sees no way out. You understand? To see that, and to see the elephant die in such a manner, in such a way, then awaken the king. His compassion again. Understand? Yes? Because he thought, oh, the elephant. First he hurt him a lot, and now he just kneel there crying. He doesn't want to listen. You see what I mean? He probably thinks the elephant won't do it. Even if he thinks the elephant will do it, because he ordered to do that. Even if he think like that, he thought like that, he could not imagine how suffering it was. He could not imagine how gruesome. He could not imagine until he actually saw it. You see what I mean? It is a different scenery altogether. Therefore, after the king saw that, he probably feel awakened in him the love, mercy, and compassion again. And his Buddha seed, begin to sprout a little again. Therefore, the God of heaven, you can see the king's mind has changed, the king's heart has changed. So he can be inspired. Both the king and the caretaker of the elephant at that time, both their minds are right now empty. Empty vessel for any good imparting of wisdom and logic. Therefore, the God of heaven could inspire, could use the physical instrument of the caretaker to speak to the physical instrument of the king. If one of them are not ready, he also would not want to do that. What's the use of talking to deaf ears? For example, if the king was not really already frightened and awakened himself, this compassion, loving kindness in him, then it's no use to tell him good things. He will not accept. Or if the caretaker mind is still struggling like we usually do, running here and there like a monkey might, struggling, and arguing inside, outside, and thinking north and south and west, east, then he can also not do anything. He cannot use a physical instrument if the mind is in chaos. Now you understand, You think it's logical to you? I'm just talking nonsense. Logical, huh? Yeah. So now you know. So that's why sometimes you went out, or you went out of yourself, or you went out of your house, and you tried to talk to somebody outside who looks intelligent, who looks understand things, but you told them about Kuan Yin method, Supreme Master Ching Hai, this and that. You feel like you're talking to your knees or your elbow, and then you feel hurt and you feel disappointed. You came home and say, but why? Master teaching, so obvious, so good. I just want to help him, and this guy is like an idiot. Why? Normally he's very intelligent. He has PhD, he's this and that. How can he not understand such an obvious, simple thing? Because the mind. Number one, maybe he listens to you, but he doesn't really hear anything. Okay? Because he's too busy thinking of his mathematic problem, his computer, his boyfriend, his girlfriend. Could be boyfriend. Don't laugh at me. It's true. And you know what I mean? He doesn't really listen. It looks like he's listening. But he's not hearing anything. I don't understand anything. Even some of your brother, sister, they hear me many times, but they don't listen. Okay? They hear here, they come out there, or they hear here, and then it go down, and then it goes out. So only when the mind is really quiet and empty of all conflicting, contradicting thoughts, then we understand perfectly. We hear perfectly. Yeah. That's why the ears, the eyes have to shut. And try to shut the inner ears, the inner eyes as well. Then you will reach heaven. So when you're quiet, very quiet, or the mind is so exhausted because the body is all tired, working all day, come home, you sit well. Yeah? And sometimes you thought you can sit all day, you wish you can sit in the forest doing nothing, just sit, but you can't. You sit, but your mind run all over the planet. Yeah. Either supermarket or television, you can't see nothing. Huh? And also the God cannot interfere because of that, because of our free will and because our mind running all over. The God cannot control our mind. They are not allowed to. In this world, there is the world of control, of award and punishment, of law and order. Visibly and invisibly, the gods have to take their hands out of it. Some gods don't even care about the affair of this planet. Some gods don't even know until they want to know. Then they look down. They know. Okay? Just like sometimes you don't know anything about what's happening in the world, but if you watch television, if you want to, you open your television, you turn on and you have a look and you know. Yeah, you know something from Sri Lanka, from America, from anywhere on the planet. Or you watch on the internet. Yeah. If you don't, you turn off. The gods in heaven, some gods, they also turn off their vision.